In the whirlwind world of professional tennis, Coco Gauff has learned that opinions can travel faster than a 120 miles per hour serve. The 21-year-old American star, who has carved a name for herself as one of the most explosive young talents on the WTA Tour, recently hinted that she's well aware of the chatter surrounding her serve, and she's not buying into the narrative others are painting. Speaking with her characteristic blend of confidence and composure, Gauff suggested that she's seen a lot of comments about her serve recently, comments she believes are totally wrong. It was a subtle yet powerful reminder that while critics may dissect every angle of her technique, Gauff's understanding of her own game runs far deeper than outside speculation. The serve under the microscope. Coco Gauff's serve has long been one of the most discussed elements of her arsenal. At its best, it's a thunderbolt, precise, powerful, and intimidating. At its worst, it can wobble under pressure, occasionally leading to double faults or inconsistent ball tosses. Analysts, former pros, and even fans have weighed in with opinions ranging from technical critiques to psychological theories. But Gauff, ever aware of the noise, seems unfazed. "People love to analyze," she said in a recent conversation, smiling in that calm, unbothered way that has become her trademark. "But not everything they say is accurate. Sometimes they're just guessing." Her comment struck a chord, not just because it addressed the technical side of her game, but because it revealed something deeper about her maturity. It's a reminder that athletes, especially young ones, are often navigating a storm of external opinions that don't always align with reality. A lesson in self-belief. For Gauff, who burst onto the scene at 15 with the iconic Wimbledon win over Venus Williams, public attention has been both a blessing and a burden. Every triumph is magnified, but so is every perceived flaw. Yet instead of reacting defensively, Gauff has cultivated a quiet resilience. "I know my serve better than anyone else," she once said. "I know when it's off, and I know when it's on. I trust the process." That process has involved subtle technical adjustments over the years, refining her ball toss, balancing her weight more evenly, and using her legs more efficiently to generate power. Her serve speed and accuracy have notably improved, especially under pressure in 2025, where she's recorded some of the highest first serve percentages of her career. But to Gauff, improvement doesn't mean tearing everything down every time someone online claims she's lost her rhythm. Instead, it's about tuning out the noise and listening to the voices that matter: her coach, her team, and her own instincts. The maturity of a champion. This latest statement from Gauff isn't just about technique, it's about identity. Many young athletes, especially those in the social media era, struggle to separate their own perception of self from the endless feedback loop of online commentary. Gauff, however, seems to be mastering that balance. Her words suggest she's not just defending her serve, she's defending her autonomy. The ability to stand firm in one's truth, even as others debate it endlessly, is one of the defining marks of maturity. And in Gauff's case, that maturity is blossoming at the same pace as her talent. "She's becoming not just a player, but a leader," noted one tennis journalist after hearing her comments. "When Coco speaks about criticism, it's not with anger. It's with wisdom, the kind that comes from experience." A look behind the numbers. Interestingly, Gauff's serving stats tell a story that supports her confidence. In the 2025 season, her first serve win percentage has climbed to over 70%, and her aces per match average is among the top 10 on the tour. While she's had moments of inconsistency, the data shows steady progression rather than decline. Yet critics, ever quick to jump on any perceived weakness, have continued to fixate on the occasional double fault or tight service game. For them, Gauff's serve remains a talking point, something to pick apart rather than appreciate in full context. But Coco, always composed, seems to see through that. Her comment that many of the claims are totally wrong suggests that she knows the difference between constructive feedback and empty commentary. In a sport where self-awareness can be the difference between stagnation and growth, that distinction is everything. The power of perspective. Gauff's relationship with criticism has evolved. In her early years, she admitted that reading online comments sometimes affected her confidence. "You see people talking about you like you're not human," she once said. When you're younger, that can mess with your head. Now, though, she treats it all as background noise. Instead of scrolling through hot takes, she focuses on video analysis, stats, and conversations with her team. Her serve, she says, is a work in progress, but it's one that's misunderstood by those on the outside looking in. And perhaps that's the broader message here, that growth in sport, and in life, doesn't happen under the microscope of public judgment. It happens quietly, deliberately, and often in ways that others can't immediately see. Reclaiming the narrative. In a world where athletes are constantly defined by headlines, Coco Gauff's refusal to let others write her story is quietly revolutionary. By acknowledging the comments, and then dismissing them with grace, she reclaims control of her narrative. Her serve, in that sense, becomes symbolic. It's not just a stroke of power or technique, but an act of expression. Every time she tosses the ball and launches it into the court, it's a statement. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. And I don't need validation from the outside. The next chapter. As the season continues, all eyes will, inevitably, remain on Coco Gauff. Every serve she hits will be timed, tracked, and discussed. But if her recent comments are any indication, she's no longer worried about the noise. She's playing her game, not anyone else's version of it. And maybe that's why she's so compelling. Coco Gauff isn't just fighting for trophies, she's fighting for ownership of her story. Her serve, powerful, imperfect, evolving, mirrors her journey as an athlete and as a young woman learning to trust herself in a world that's always talking. So when she says the comments are wrong, it's not just a rebuttal, it's a declaration. Coco Gauff knows her serve. She knows her strengths. And above all, she knows that greatness isn't measured by the volume of opinions, but by the quiet confidence of those who keep showing up, day after day, determined to prove themselves right.